Right, major breaking news out of the Middle East within the past half hour or so. This Saudi-led coalition here, Egypt, we're talking UAE and Bahrain, have all cut their diplomatic ties with Qatar.
Yeah, that's right. Land, sea, and sky class crossings have all ceased between Qatar. Joining us right now from Dubai is Yusuf Gamal Al-Din. Yusuf, what impact is this going to have in the region?
It's really unprecedented in recent times. It's a major step. Ultimately, if you look at the scale of integration between Qatar and its Gulf peers, they've always strived to create something like the European Union. So you're looking at significant relationships across the board, across asset classes. And again, the fact that you've got a heavyweight like Saudi Arabia cutting ties across sea and land and air, that's going to reverberate not just in this part of the world, but around the world as well. As not just what's happening in terms of bilateral trade, it's also global cooperation on issues like terrorism. Now, some might say, well, where did all of this come from? It started a few weeks ago when President Donald Trump visited Riyadh, and you saw this inauguration of a global counter-terrorism operation and widespread campaign. And off the back of that, the Gulf felt that Qatar was not towing the same line in terms of taking a clear stance against Iran. What followed was a huge media campaign against Qatar across newspapers and other media outlets, basically isolating Qatar, saying they are not living up to their responsibilities. And now this latest development, the diplomatic escalation, really a step that is going to have significant impact and on markets as well.
Yeah, I guess, Yusuf, on that note, I'm looking at my OPEC Go function here, and you look at, I guess, as a percentage of the overall production of OPEC. I mean, we're looking at, what, just about 2%? It's where my cursor is right there, from the country in terms of output. I'm wondering, would there be any sort of implication as far as compliance with this recent agreement to extend those cuts?
There might be. Ultimately, if you can't cooperate, I mean, if you don't have diplomatic ties, it's going to be a lot more difficult to cooperate. I would not say significantly, though, to expect any moves there, because ultimately it's in Qatar's own interest to comply, to keep prices at a level they'll be able to guarantee revenues. Guys?